Hi guys. Today, first off, it's thunderstorming, which is so cool. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the audio. If it does, I will go ahead and redo it. But hopefully it adds to the ambiance. My cats are also running around, so they might try to get involved in this. Today, we're gonna do a book haul. Everybody's favorite. I love book haul videos. Oh my goodness. But this book haul has a story behind it. My sister, as a gift, went into my Amazon account, and I have a folder for all of my bookish things, and she picked out a bunch of books that were on my list and gave them to me in a huge box. It's the best experience, not knowing what that box was and opening it. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. Like, have you seen the video going around on TikTok and Instagram, and it's like the little kid opens his birthday present and he's like, books, it's books, 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 and he does a little little dance. That was me. So let's get started. I will read the synopsis of each. Also, I do have a lifesaver in my mouth. I don't know how well it picks up the mouth sounds. Ay, ay, ay. My cats are jumping on me. But hopefully it does, because I love candy mouths. Alright, I'm gonna move all these out of the way and we'll get started. Here we go. Alright. First up, we have the Daydreams by Laura Hankin. Let's read a little about this one. Back in 2004, the Daydreams had it all. A cast of innocent-seeming teenagers acting and singing their hearts out. Amazing ratings and a will they or won't they romance that steamed up fan fiction forums. Then, during the live season 2 finale, it all imploded, leaving everyone scrambling to understand why. Afterward, the 4 stars went down very different paths. Kat is now a lawyer in Washington, D.C. Liana is the bored wife of a famous athlete. Noah, the show's golden boy, emerged unscathed and is poised to become a household name. And Summer, the object of Noah's fictional real-life affections, is the cautionary tale. But now the fans are demanding a reunion special. The stars all have private motives to come back. Forgiveness, revenge, a second chance with a first love, But as they tentatively rediscover the magic of the original show, old secrets threaten to resurface, including the real reason behind their downfall. So this book, it reminded me of, I haven't read it yet, but the reason I had it on my list, it reminded me of like Disney kids and them growing up with that Disney experience. And so I was really interested in just seeing the drama that unfolds in a similar story. Forgot to mention, my sister was being very thrifty, and she found all these from used bookstores, which I think is so freaking cool. And I prefer used books. I use Pango a lot. What else do I use? There was a specific one that she got a lot of them from, but I cannot remember. Anyway, next one is from one of my favorite authors, Christina Lauren, best friend duo. I love their books. I've enjoyed every one that I've read. And this one has been on my list forever, but it's not available at my library on Libby, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited, so I've put off reading it. But it sounds good. Let me go ahead and read this to you. From the subway to Broadway to happily ever after. For months, Holland Baker has invented excuses to descend into the subway station near her apartment, drawn to the music performed by her street musician crush. Lacking the nerve to actually talk to the captivating guitarist, fate steps in one night in the form of a drunken attacker. Calvin McLaughlin rescues her, but quickly disappears when the police start asking questions. Using the only resource she has to pay the brilliant musician back, Holland gets Calvin an audition with her uncle, Broadway's hottest musical director. When the tryout goes better than even Holland expected, could have imagined. I'm putting in my own words. What is wrong with my brain? This is a front row seat to how my brain works and the words that it sees. Calvin is set. Okay, when the tryout goes better than even Holland could have imagined, Calvin is set for a great entry into Broadway, until his reason for disappearing earlier becomes clear. He's in the country illegally, his student visa having expired years ago. Seeing that her uncle needs Calvin as much as Calvin needs him, a wild idea takes hold of Holland. Impulsively, she marries the Irishman. Oh, he's an Irishman. Oh my. Coincidentally, I'm wearing my sweater from Ireland right now. Oh no, this sticker. I'm gonna have to guess those words, but we already know I'm good at that, so it's fine, don't worry. Impulsively, she marries the Irishman. Her infatuation, a secret only to him. As the relationship evolves and Calvin becomes the darling of Broadway, in the actrix and the acting, not acting, will Holland... I don't like when they do this to books. It drives all of us crazy. So I don't know why they continue. This is my first time like going through these, so that's why there's going to be stickers. Like I haven't gotten them ready to go on my shelf yet. Haha. As their relationship evolves and Calvin becomes the darling of Broadway, in the middle of the theatrics and the acting, not acting, will Holland and Calvin realize that they both stopped pretending a long time ago. Marriage of convenience are so inconvenient. I love a marriage of convenience. All right. Next up, Whistleblower by Kate Marchant. Laurel Cates has never wanted the spotlight. As a junior studying journalism at Garland University, she's perfectly happy pumping out well-written fluff pieces. But when she uncovers a pattern of misbehavior and a trail of lies involving the school's beloved football coach, she knows she has to expose the truth. Trying not to cough. I'm sorry, guys. That's why I keep stopping. Okay. Bodie St. James, the star quarterback, who now finds his career hanging in the balance, is convinced that the man who has been like a father to him couldn't possibly be the villain Laurel thinks he is, and he's determined to prove Laurel wrong. But when the pair teams up, their tentative alliance becomes complicated by growing feelings and mounting evidence. Now, Laurel must choose between staying invisible or doing what's right, even if it costs her more than she ever imagined. I thought this sounded really good. I don't think I've ever read a fictional journalist story, so I'm excited to start this. Alright, next up. My roommate is a vampire. By Jenna, Levine. First of all, this cover got me. I love this so much. Let's read a little about it. Let's see. It's crazy out there. Cassie Greenberg loves being an artist, but it's a tough way to make a living. Tell me about it. On the brink of eviction, she's desperate when she finds a too-good-to-be-true apartment in a beautiful Chicago neighborhood. Cassie knows there has to be a catch. Only someone with a secret to hide would rent a room for that price. Of course, her new roommate, Frederick J. Fitzwilliam, definitely sounds fake, is far from normal. He sleeps all day, is out at night on business, and talks like he walked out of a Regency romance. He also leaves Cassie heart-melting notes around the apartment, cares about her art, and asks about her day. Oh my gosh. The bar is so low, ladies and gentlemen. The bar is so low. And he doesn't look half bad shirtless. On the rare occasions, they're both home and awake. But when Cassie finds bags of blood in the fridge that definitely weren't there earlier, Frederick has to come clean. Cassie's sexy new roommate is a vampire, and he has a proposition for her. True love is at stake in this charming debut romantic comedy. That's funny. Who doesn't love a vampire rom-com, you know? Alright, next up. Love Redesigned by Laura Asher. This is definitely a series that's super popular on TikTok, BookTok, and Bookstagram. I think this is the fourth or fifth one in the series. I've read a few of them, but this was the most recently the newest one, I think, and that's why it was on my list. That's gonna drive me crazy. Okay. Julian. If I ever caught on fire, Dahlia Munoz would fan the flames with a smile. So when she returns to Lake Wisteria, I fully intend to avoid the interior designer, at least until my meddling mother exploits my savior complex. The faster I help Dahlia find her creative spark, the sooner she will leave town. But while I was getting rid of Dahlia, I overlooked one potential issue. What happens if I want her to stay? Dahlia's POV. People say the devil has many faces, but I know only one, Julian Lopez, my childhood rival and family frenemy. I vow to steer clear of him while recovering from my broken engagement, but then the billionaire makes an irresistible offer. Renovate a historic house together and triple our profits. Our temporary truce becomes compromised as we face years worth of denied attraction and mixed emotions. Giving in to our desire is inevitable, but falling in love, that isn't part of the plan. I think that sounds great. I like a interior design and architecture book. Let me know if you've read the series on this, what your feelings are. Okay. Next one. This is another really popular one on Book Talk. Faking with Benefits. Lily Gold. Now, you might not think so, but this is a why choose. A friends to lover reverse harem romance. It looks so innocent. Okay. Wanted. 3 fake boyfriends. Must be tall, hot, and willing to teach me how to kiss. My name is Layla Thompson, and I am undateable. Seriously. I'm 28, and I've never had a boyfriend. And with my 30s rapidly approaching, I'm starting to lose patience. Luckily for me, I have 3 best friends who are eager to help hone my dating skills. There's Zach, the huge ex-rugby player, Josh, the sweet boy next door, and Luke, the silver-haired divorcee, who also happens to be my old professor. After a bad date leaves me crying on their shoulders, the 3 men are determined to help me find a guy. Together, they agree to be my practice boyfriends and come up with a lesson plan packed with fake dates, makeout sessions, and classes on flirty texting. In return, I just have to make an appearance on their relationship advice podcast once a week. Easy. But as my lessons become more and more intense, we soon find ourselves getting in too deep. The guys have been teaching me how to get a boyfriend, and now it's time I put their lessons to the test 3 times over. Wow. Faking with Benefits is a sweet, spicy romance full of laughs, fake dating, heat, and 3 gorgeous heroes. gorgeous blue. I love this cover. Beautiful. Next up, Writers and Lovers by Lily King. What's this one about? Recently, out of a devastating love affair and mourning the death of her beloved mom, Casey is lost. The novel she has been writing for 6 years isn't going anywhere. Her debt is soaring, and at 31, with all her friends getting married and having kids, she feels too old for things to be this way. Then she meets Silas. He is a kind, handsome, interested. But only a few weeks later, Oscar, older, fascinating, troubled, walks into her life. His 2 boys in tow. Suddenly, Cassie finds herself at the point of a love triangle, torn between 2 very different relationships that promise 2 very different futures, and she still got to write that book. This yet, but I did watch some of the series on Hulu, and it's so good. I had to force myself to stop so that I could read the book instead first. Here's what this one's about. She would do anything to escape her past. In present-day California, Eleanor Bennett's death leaves behind a puzzling inheritance for her 2 children, Brian and Benny, a traditional Caribbean black cake made from a family recipe with a long history and a voice recording. In her message, Eleanor shares a tumultuous story about a headstrong young swimmer who escapes her island home under suspicion of murder. The heartbreaking tale Eleanor unfolds, the secrets she still holds back in the mystery of a long-lost child, challenge everything the siblings thought they knew about their identities and themselves. Can Brian and Benny reclaim their once close relationship, piece together Eleanor's true history, and fulfill her final request to share the black cake when the time is right? Will their mother's revelations bring them back together or leave them feeling more lost than ever? Fascinating, this book. Incredible. Well, the story so far, like the idea of the story. It's one I've never come across before or anything like it. But some people have compared it to the style of Where the Crawdads Lie, which I didn't read that one either, and I didn't see the movie, but people loved it. Next to You. Now this one I have read. She wanted to get me ones that I haven't read before, but this was on my list because I loved it and I read it digitally and I wanted it in print because it was so good. And it was self-published by Hannah. I can't read upside down. Hannah Bonham Young. Lane is in the middle of an identity crisis. Her friends are all partnered up. Her career is leading nowhere, and simply put, she's not happy. So after a night out celebrating drinking on her birthday, she makes one hell of an impulsive purchase, a giant yellow 48-passenger school bus that she intends to make a home. With little to no renovation experience, but a large sum of inheritance money, Lane enlists the help of her friend Matt, a mechanic by trade, handyman by practice, and hottie by nature. While their mutual attraction is undeniable, Matt and Lane have silently agreed that a friendship is the only thing that can ever exist between them. Matt's a total family guy, with "settle down with me" tattooed across his forehead, whereas Lane is entirely commitment adverse. So when Matt offers to help her with the bus and in the bedroom with no strings attached, Lane's feelings evolve faster than you can say just good friends. But she soon discovers that in order to build something new, she has to first heal her past. I really enjoyed this. I'm surprised it hasn't been picked up yet by a publishing house. Maybe it has. I gotta look into that. I know the cover has changed on it, I think. How cute this little school bus. Alright. Next one. Ready Player 2. I know this one doesn't fit in my romance category of books, but my favorite sci-fi book is Ready Player One. Oh my gosh, so good, by Ernest Cline. You can also watch the movie, which is, I believe, on Netflix, and it's one of my favorite movies. I just love adventure movies like that. And it's like video game based. It's very futuristic. So I haven't read part 2 yet. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, so that's good. Ready Player 2, I have no idea what this is even about. I just know I was ready to read the second one. Let's find out together. Okay. Hidden within Halliday's vaults, waiting for his heir to find, lies a technological advancement that will once again change the world and make the Oasis 1,000 times more wondrous and addictive than even Wade dreamed possible. With it comes a new riddle and a new quest, a last Easter egg from Holiday, hinting at a mysterious prize. And an impossibly powerful new rival awaits, one willing to kill millions to get what he wants. Wade's life and the future of the Oasis are again at stake, but this time the fate of humanity also hangs in the balance. Ready Player 2 returns to Ernest Cline's beloved virtual universe for a widely inventive, lovingly nostalgic, irresistibly fun adventure that imagines a thrilling new future for the Oasis and beyond. It's so good. You gotta watch it at least. If you're not gonna read it, at least go watch the first one. But it's just called Ready Player One. I can't wait to read this. Okay, last one, guys. Luna and the Lie. This is by our slow burn queen, Mariana Zapata. I want to read everything by her, and I have read about 6, but I still have a few on the list. This is one of them. It's a big one too. She loves her slow burns. I think it's about 500 pages. 616. Let's find out what it's about. Okay. The problem with secrets is that they're too easy to keep collecting. Luna Allen has done some things she would rather no one ever know about. She also knows that if she could go back in time, she wouldn't change a single thing. With 3 sisters she loves, a job she mostly adores, and a family built up of friends she's made over the years, Luna figures everything has worked out the way it was supposed to. But when one of those secrets involves the man who signs her paycheck, she can't find it in her to regret it, despite the fact that he's not the friendliest man in the world or the most patient. Sometimes there are things you're better off keeping to yourself. I think I might start this one first out of all of those. Which one would you guys pick? Oh my gosh, please tell me which one you would pick to start with first. I would love to know that. That would make me... I just think that would be so fun to know what you would pick. I think it gives you insight into a person. It would probably be this one or Faking with Benefits. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging with me again. I will see you all tomorrow.